level, we are talking regularly. We are organizing the series, the webinar series on the governance issues at international level, and at present, we have already done the webinars with the governance issues with the 29 countries. So, in this regard, first of all, I would like to welcome our Director General and Additional Secretary, DRPG Sri V. Srinivas. He will give an introductory speech on this spacious session. Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir.
Yes, a very good morning to all distinguished participants. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome Sri A. Sharath, District Collector Kamareddy, Sri Devansh Yadav, District Collector Changlang, Sri Gaurav Benal, CEO Zilla Parishad Khargone, and Srimati Alka Mishra, the Deputy Director General of NIC, to the NCGG's Good Governance webinar. This is the 7th in the series on excellence in digital governance at district level. Today, we have a young and an accomplished group of officers who would be addressing the NCGG's Good Governance webinar. Each of these officials is a recipient of the prestigious Digital India Awards 2020 conferred by the Rashtrapati Ji on December 30, 2020, and represent the best traits of governance in action. They have pursued e-governance technology options to provide improved delivery of public services, with citizen centricity being at the heart of these initiatives. Let me also compliment NIC for scaling up the S3 VAS in such a short period of time as a technology that has integrated services at district level and improved district web portals. I also extend a warm welcome to all the distinguished participants in the webinar, senior faculty of public administration from leading universities of India, the district collectors from aspirational districts, officials from DRPG, and the faculty of NCGG. Before I invite the lead discussants to present their views, let me introduce you to the subject. Today we are discussing e-governance through improved e-services. The DRPG has pioneered e-governance through the National E-Governance Conferences and National E-Governance Awards. The DRPG has also published the National E-Services Delivery Assessment 2019 and the Central Secretariat Manual of Office Procedure 2019, which provides a roadmap for improved e-services and for a digital Central Secretariat. The pandemic has brought forth the importance of digital services and has redefined India's governance models. Hence, this subject of excellence in digital governance is of critical importance for today's governance. Some of the successful digital governance initiatives include the Aadhaar-enabled payment system, the digital locker, the e-sign, Swayam, Hospital, BHIM, rapid assessment system, MyGov, and eNAM. The National E-Services Delivery Assessment 2019 assessed service portals focus sectors and examined the usability and utility of the portals among citizens. The portals were examined on the basis of accessibility, content availability, ease of use, information security and privacy, end service delivery, integrated service delivery, status and request tracking. For end service delivery, the NASDA said that the state must pursue use of digital tools like the DigiLocker to deliver services like certificates, RC books, and gradually move away from the manual documents for any services by promoting digital government. Second, it said that government cloud, use of government cloud account by officers to verify the document of citizens for all services. For integrated service delivery, the NASDA said that a whole of government approach is required across government and between levels to provide integrated services to citizens. Innovative processes and mechanisms for service delivery and citizen engagement, as well as empowerment, are essential. Services inclusive and accessible to all groups in the society. Further, the NASDA said that status and request tracking should be enabled through a single window to reduce time and increase overall productivity. I am very happy to note that in pursuit of excellence in digital governance at the district level, the districts of Kamareddy, Changlang, and Khargone have successfully implemented several of the e-governance initiatives envisaged in the NASDA, resulting in improved citizen-centric delivery. Downloadable forms for provisioning of services online are available on the portal. Service delivery schedules have been provided and promotional campaigns to avail e-services undertaken. Further, statistics about transaction costs of services, separate help and frequently asked questions have been provided. A What's New section is also available online and a user manual to guide users has been provided. Service delivery timelines with search functions and provisions for complaints, resolution, online payment facilities have been made available. The citizen services have also been linked with DigiLocker and a single sign-on has been provided on the portal. Status and request tracking with service update alerts through SMS has also been provided. Now, these efforts that we have witnessed in Khargone, Changlang, and Kamareddy have enabled in the digital ecosystem and have reduced the digital divide. The district collectors have driven innovation and capacity creation to improve public service delivery across the district. So let me congratulate all the award winners personally and welcome you to this discussion. I look forward to listening to each of the lead discussants today and thank you for accepting our invitation. So first, I will invite Dr. A. Sharath, District Collector of Kamareddy, to make his presentation.
Sir, I am Sharath, sir, with my ACUT and also my DIY NSC present, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, first of all, I would like to Dr. A. I am audible, sir?
Yes, you are audible. Please. Kindly introduce Dr. Sharath. Kindly introduce Dr. Sharath, Professor Poonam.
Yeah. Good morning. Dr. A. Sharath has joined Indian Administrative Service in the year 2005. He is currently holding the charge of District Collector Kamareddy. He has initially served in the State Civil Service. He worked as Director and MD at State Warehousing Corporation. He has also served as District Collector Jagityal for the past 3 years before serving as a District Collector Kamareddy. He attained his Master degree in Business Administration, MBA Finance, and Doctorate degree in Commerce and Management Studies. So, Mr. A. Sharath, you are welcome to give your speech. Welcome. Please unmute your mic, no? Hello.
Yeah, presentation.
Yeah.
Unmute. So, very good afternoon to and warm greeting to our Srinivas sir, Additional Secretary and DG NCCC, and also the Malcolm Mishra sir, Deputy Director General, as well as Professor Poonam Madam, and also lead speakers and colleague participants. Sir, we thank the Srinivas sir for organizing this webinar so as to have an opportunity to present our case. Further, I feel it's a pleasure and privilege and honor to present our best practices, sir. So with this word, I start my next slide. I start my presentation, madam. This is a small presentation which attempts to display our work with the website of district administration. Initially, we wanted our website as so simple, accessible, responsive, and effective, with a mission to have seamless site providing updated with content and more focusing on participation of each stakeholder of the district administration. Next slide. We have designed the website on NIC framework of S3 VAS, as are said, the secure, scalable, and Sugamya. I am sure the S3 was a guiding force to us, no doubt about, madam, about that. And coming to secure, this is also NIC provided the robust cyber security which protects the cyber attacks as well as the secures data. And coming to scalability, we have adopted this site framework which can be molded to provide the more services, constant updation of structure itself. This has been done through the good back-end database management and standardized architecture. And coming to Sugamya, the Sugamya website, the Sugamya ensured the user-friendly experience and feel. The user interface is simple and interactive. And bilingual navigation we made, the content setting provision also we made. The person with visual difficulties, we have font and contrast setting. So that's what we made with reference to secure, scalable, and Sugamya. Next, madam. The accessibility, no doubt, remained as our main focus. This site designed in compliance with the GIGW guidelines. This site can be operated on any device, including the PC, mobile, and laptop and tablet, with the integrated search option. This site is compatible with screen reading software for visually Divyang citizens. This website also provides external links for important services such as right to information online, social media network, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, where user can interact with district administration. So that has been imbibed. The next slide. And this content data ranges from basic district profile to providing emergency contacts and public utilities. In addition to this, it also provides external link for Government of India data access website like data.government in Incredible India, My Government, EMNRF, PM India, India.government.in. Next slide. Then with reference to content part, website provides details of each department, sir. This includes the human resource details, their access points, more importantly, the schemes, projects, initiatives taken by the department. Further, it also provides the resource base of laws, the guidelines, government orders, statistics on which the functioning of the department is based. Further, we also tried to provide the geo-tagged maps of each district department's assets and works. That is in progress and we already initiated. The site also provides the happened, which already taken place, the works and upcoming events of the departments on dashboard. So that arrangements also made with reference to contents, madam. Next slide, madam. Next slide. Regarding the usefulness of website, further, in addition to whatever I said, the website provides plethora of services as shown in the slide. Besides facility to register the grievances, not only this website acts as a medium to lodge complaint, but also provides information about how and where to lodge complaints. Next slide. The mechanism for constant updation. It's a challenging task. However, the specific responsibility given to district officers assigned to them to update information constantly under the supervision of our NIC DAO and which helped in most importantly in COVID-19 response in providing the authentic guidelines and standard operating procedures for COVID handling. I am proud to say, sir, that the testing, 3 months back testing, if you do 100, it was 22% positive. Now mine is 0.22% if I do 100. This website information also enabled us to achieve that is this out of 33 districts in Telangana, mine is the lowest positive rate in the state. This website also helps us. Further, the press releases, daily events like announcements, notifications, along with information about tenders, recruitments, events are also hosted by the website. Next slide, ma'am. Then, since inception of the website, we wanted to promote tourism in the district. So we availed this S3 VAS website designed by NIC as a mechanism to promote our tourism in the district. So tourist attraction, the details like descriptions about important attractions in the district. For example, there is a Nizam Sagar Dam, which I am showing there. Its tourist spot has been attracted with information like its location, how to reach there, video links of the place, best time to visit that tourist spot, the culinary specialty around the area, wildlife which can be sighted along with emergency contacts, available infrastructure facilities. Like that also we made for each and every tourism spot. It helped not only tourist increased, but also we are visibly seeing the generated enhanced local employment there at the spot of tourism spot. We are now witnessing, sir. Next slide. And strategy to update the constant information that I already explained. The district officers NIC team motivated, assigned this specific task and responsibility to update constantly. Regular feedback. In addition to this, the regular feedback from users helped us to keep site functioning, simple and user friendly. And we made this constant updation by achieving with a strategy by keeping citizen at center, the users at center, their feedback at center. Taking their views, we are constantly improving our website. Next slide, ma'am. This to further enrich our website, sir, we have planned sharing success stories and models which inspires all. It acts as a positive motivation. And we are in the process to make site available in Hindi and Urdu in addition to Telugu and English, what is now available. We'll make our site quadrilingual. Then there is an attempt to increase online services provided on the platform. We are also planning to have platform of interaction. This website can be a platform of interaction not only between administration and citizen, but also between different sections of the district administration. So we are doing with all these activities, I am sure our website will further enrich and will become further user friendly to the users of the district and across and other parts of the state. Then next slide, sir, madam. We have planned to work with togetherness. It's a team. And new initiatives we have planned to involve volunteers and their data. Volunteers' data will be available in the website itself and will make use them whenever the situation or need emergency arises. So the data is available. With reference to volunteers, we want to channelize the experiences and expertise of public to help us in sectors like disaster management, health administration, and horticulture. And now we are using the volunteer service in COVID-19 response also. Then volunteers like Swachhagrahas, traffic volunteers, green cops can help us district with safe, clean and green environment in the district and in the villages. We are also planned to have the experts people from different sectors like medicine, or teachers, or disaster management, or any scientific background. All these volunteers will be on fold, will be available, the data available in the website, and their services will be used as and when the need arises. Even art of living, that also made part of this, and we are also making use of them whenever the meetings takes place in the district, either with the public representatives or a public, or with the beneficiaries, or with our team of officials and staff. We are also organizing the art of living classes to them. Then we will provide option of registration of willing people, of all these willing people getting details about what they want to do, how they can be useful, what innovation can be brought in functioning of the district administration. So this is what togetherness we did to have a team spirit in the website itself. The next slide, madam. Then here, important thing is governance. As sir said, as a part of good governance, as a part of smart governance, the website we are trying to improve smart governance in the district. We are targeting 8 pillars of good governance provided by United Nations. We have started to see the results as well. The general feedback from people is encouraging even at present. The information, as suggested by Second Administrative Reforms Commission, having all public information provided by the website, I am sure, as sir said, it definitely bridges the digital divide. It has significantly reduced the RTA application asking for the same. Now we are witnessing the reduction of the RTA application in the district as compared to before website and after website. We wish to continue this effort in the service of the people, sir. And at last, we thank especially DG sir, Srinivas sir and NIC for recognizing our effort and providing this opportunity to share our best practices, sir. Thank you so much. And with this, I leave from you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sharath. That was a brilliant presentation. Let me compliment you on the hard work done. Kindly stay in the webinar because we have a question and answer session to follow after this. Let me now invite Shri Devansh Yadav, the collector of Changlang. And before he commences his presentation, can I request Professor Poonam Singh to kindly introduce him?
Yes, sir. So, Dr. Devansh Yadav, he has joined the administrative service in the year 2016, currently posted in Arunachal Pradesh as Deputy Commissioner of Changlang District. In Puducherry, he served as Assistant Commissioner. He also served as an Assistant Secretary in Department of Land Resources, Government of India. Also served as Administrative Head of Boradungsa Subdivision, Changlang. He attained his MBBS degree from All India Institute of Medical Sciences. So welcome. Welcome, Mr. Devansh Yadav.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you so much for giving Changlang this platform and to showcase the work that we have done. If I can have the presentation.
Yeah.
All the dignitaries. Changlang district has been working on the NIC website, which is based on S3 VAS model for a very long time. And our DIO and his team have been pivotal in sharing the information in real time. And for that and other e-services which we have provided, we have been recognized in recent Digital India Awards 2020. Next slide, please. Changlang, as we see in the map, it is one of the easternmost districts of the country, and it is a vast district of around 5,000 square kilometers. And we have large areas which don't have internet as of now. While all the major townships do have internet facilities, the population as such is very sparsely populated and spread across all the areas of the district. Next slide, please. Focus, as seen on the homepage, has always been to use the S3 VAS platform in the most efficient way possible, knowing the kind of infrastructural issues and other issues which we face as a district in this remote area. And we have been working on various options given to us, various tabs and various department related informations which we can upload on the website. Next slide, please. As we can see from the homepage itself, one of the most important features of the website which we have seen is that on the single homepage itself, we have all the information to be displayed. So the user can access all the information on the homepage, and this reduces the time taken to access government services. It also makes easy for people who are not very well versed with IT services, and they also find easy to use the website. In the header menu also, as you could have seen in the last page, we had lot of options available for these users ranging from schemes, departments, e-services, and also tourism. Please. I will start with the kind of utilities that this website has given to us, starting with source of information. One of the basic features of our website has been that it is the single source of basic information about the whole district. In all the administrative heads, who's and who's of the government at the district level, all the areas where the district administrative headquarters are located, engineering departments, Anganwadis, every single information is being uploaded as latest information on the website. And this makes it easy for any person who wants to know about our district, even who is not part of the district. And this has led to transparency in terms of basic information. Next slide, please. Citizen services have been one of the most important features of this website. As we can see, many government services are being provided online. And apart from online services, as I said, since Changlang is a state where we don't have, is a district where some areas don't still have internet connection. So we also make sure that all the forms are also available for downloadable format, so that if they are not able to apply online, at least they are able to download them, and then also they are able to apply. This also helps the citizenry which is not very well versed with online application filing. We also have various other services on the citizen services, like marriage, birth and death certificate, caste certificate, vehicle registration certificate, etc. To enter Arunachal, we have to apply for inner line permit. This is one of the basic for any tourist, for any visitor. So we have made sure that these ILP permits are being issued online, and on a real-time basis. We don't take more than 2 to 3 hours in issuing every single ILP. We try our best from our side. And apart from that, we also have grievance redressal and helpline. We have started a 24/7 IVR interface for helpline, which also has call recording facility. So all the calls are automatically recorded, and we can check in hindsight whether the grievances which were being raised by the citizens through calls have been addressed or not. We also have various COVID-19 services which we had started during the lockdown. And apart from that, all the procurements which we do, we make it a habit, and we have made sure that all those notices are uploaded online, so that every single seller is able to know, and there is transparency. Next slide, please. With regards to schemes, now the schemes run by the state and central government are lot in number. We have made sure that all these schemes are shown in a structured manner. starting from the eligibility criteria, how to apply, what all are the benefits which a citizen can receive from the particular scheme, and what all are the incentives which would be there in the scheme. All these schemes have been uploaded online, and whenever a new scheme is started or there are modifications, we make sure that those are updated on the website. Next slide, please. Community mobilization at district level, apart from providing e-services, our important role is also for harnessing the energy of the youth and also the community. So we started few initiatives which we have mentioned here. District website has been pivotal in spreading this information in far and wide areas of the district. We started a career counseling session for all the civil services aspirants for the district. In this, we had our local officers who have recently entered the services in the state civil service. They have started this initiative, and we have used the district website for information dissemination and also for collection of applications. We also started an education fundraiser for students who are from poor background and who want to enter Delhi University. And we use the strength of social media and also our district website. All the important links were there. We were able to connect substantial amount of fund, and we were able to send lot of students to Delhi University this year through this mobilization. Next slide, please. With regards to tourism, Changlang is having Namdapha Tiger Reserve in the district over an area of 2,000 square kilometers. It is one of the most important assets of our district. We have tried to ensure that all the various unique things of our district are uploaded so that the people who are interested in visiting Arunachal and Northeast in general, they get to know that what this particular district holds for them. This includes all the basic festivals. We have tried to upload information about the festivals, the kind of dresses, the kind of food and cuisine. Next slide, please. The tourism menu, starting from how to reach, where to stay, places of interest, details about the festivals, and inner line permit. For places to stay, we have uploaded a detailed document which contains all the details of various tourist homes run by local entrepreneurs, and we have made sure that the details with regards to rooms, photographs, and other informations are there in the document as well as on the website, so that people who are coming from far off places, they are able to have some place of accommodation booking at the start itself. Next. This is the where to stay page of the district. Next slide, please. It contains the information of the various tourism aspects of the district. Next slide, please. Directory menu. Now, starting from the deputy commissioner to running down to all the other departments, we have made sure that official numbers of all the officers are there on the website so that citizenry are able to access and contact them whenever it is required. Next slide, please. This is the textiles and handicraft page. This shows the various departments which are there. We have tried to ensure that about these departments and the kind of works which they are doing, all the information is uploaded on the website. Next slide, please. With regards to information transparency, all the beneficiary details of local schemes, we have uploaded the documents, and we have also released public notices so that citizenry can cross-check and also have transparency. Also, all the procurements and tenders are uploaded on the website regularly, and we make sure that everyone is informed through the district website about the procurements and other processes. Next slide, please. This is an example of nutritional kitchen garden beneficiary list. All the beneficiaries, 10,000 of them, all of them have been uploaded on the district website. Next slide, please. This is the photo gallery menu, which shows all the latest events which have happened in the district, and also the press releases are there. Next slide. These are the press release sections which contain important information from the district administration side to all the citizens. Next slide, please. Now, these are the COVID-19 services which we have started. We started e-pass system, delivery of food for people during the lockdown. Also, other helplines were available, and various other interaction with citizens for sharing of information, like hotspots which are to be there, areas where we have some issues, all the public notices of COVID. All these were uploaded on a real-time basis on this segment. Next slide, please. Of the initiatives, as all these services have been made online, even though a district which is as vast as Changlang, we have tried to make sure that people start coming on the website and use these online methods of interacting with the government. And apart from these initiatives which I have just now mentioned, for future we are also trying to increase more e-services on the platform. For tourism, we are trying to upload blogging stories, and also entrepreneurs who can interact with people through our website. We have also collaborated with Harvesting Farmers Network, which is a social media platform, so that on our website very soon we'll be having a platform where buyers and sellers can interact. Next slide, please.
Thank you, Devanshi. Let me congratulate you on the outstanding work done in Arunachal Pradesh. It's not an easy terrain, and I think it's quite brilliant. Keep the flag flying. Please stay in the web room. We'll have a question-answer session on your presentation. I'll now invite the third district that will be participating in today's discussion, Khargone from Madhya Pradesh, and being represented by a young colleague, Shri Gaurav Benal. I'll request Professor Poonam to kindly introduce the lead speaker.
Thank you, sir. And I welcome Shri Gaurav Benal. Shri Gaurav Benal had joined Indian Administrative Service in 2016. He joined as SDM in Mehgaon subdivision in Bhind, then Sihiroha subdivision of Jabalpur as SDM. Here he got exposure of land revenue, executive magistrate and other functions of SDM. Then he was transferred to Mahidpur subdivision of Ujjain as SDM. Following this, he was promoted as CEO Jila Panchayat, Khargone, and has been delivering his duties for Rural Development Department. Welcome, Mr. Gaurav Benal. Kindly give your speech, please.
Thank you, ma'am. A very good afternoon, respected sir, ma'am, and my respected colleagues. Thank you very much, sir, for providing us this platform where we would like to share district initiatives, which are basically under the guidance of our collector madam and implemented by DIO and his team. Kindly share the presentation, please. Thank you. So the whole digital governance through this district website was basically to provide proactive information dissemination, aiming at citizen-centric administration, delivering e-governance through this website, online and time-bound delivery of services. Please. Before the arrival of S3VAS, we had some challenges. These challenges were basically compliance with the standards. The layouts were very cluttered, poor color contrast, navigation was not easy. It was very non-citizen centric and content was very poor. There were security issues also, and bilingual issues were also there. We could not maintain it in English and in Hindi, both languages. Next. With the arrival of S3VAS, many changes took place, and we tried to implement the new changes and achieve the goals as stated earlier. Next. So this is our website. The first and basic thing that we needed to do was easy and logical categorization of all the information available. The first categorization, the first tab that shows is basically the basic information of district. The basic facts and figures are reliable and factual information about the district. Then comes the main administrative setup, whether it be phone numbers or it be email IDs, etc., and how the person can approach them. The departments, all the line departments along with the revenue, all the line departments with their information have been categorized under this head. One is a very prominent tourism district in Madhya Pradesh because of basin and its historical importance. So the tourism tab, it enlists tourist places and all the information related to tourism. Then the RTI compliance, as the RTI says, some of the information regarding the public information officer, the appellate authority, etc., in various departments, they have been enlisted here. All the information is uploaded here. In the various departments, one thing is there, we need to update the information every now and then. As soon as the contact changes, new schemes come, new notices or circulars come, they need to be updated. So this is a task where other departments, line departments submit the updated information and we implement them. Then there is service delivery. Some services are provided online, some are provided offline. So both this information, the basics of the service delivery, the schemes which are services which are provided online, they can be, the links are shared, and the services which are provided offline, we share the basic information where the person can apply and how he can get the benefit. So this basically a screenshot of our schemes that we have uploaded here. How to make a scheme efficient? To put the basic information in public domain. What the scheme is, who is the eligible beneficiary, how to apply for it, and where to apply. The scheme might be applied online or offline. So all those informations are here. For example, in this slide, see the departments are there, like Anusuchit Jati Vikas Vibhag, Adim Jati Kalyan Vibhag, Udyaniki Vibhag, etc. So all these line departments, all the schemes of those departments, information is available there. In this slide, sir, as it explains, the Tribal Development Department, the schemes are enlisted there. For example, Antarjati Vivah Protsahan Yojana. So the scheme says who all are the beneficiaries, what benefit they'll get, what is the eligibility criteria, and what is the mode of application. If it is online application, a person can apply online. So the link is shared from where he can apply online. And if he needs to apply offline, the information is available to which department he needs to go, where the address is, and how he can approach the department. This is a detailed slide of that one of the schemes, like Mukhyamantri Krashak Udyami Yojana. It says कि लाभार्थी कौन है, क्या लाभ मिलेंगे और आवेदन कैसे करें. The basic information of a scheme is displayed in this manner. So this is applicable to all the schemes. All our schemes are explained in this detailed format on our website. Next. So as I stated earlier, 126 schemes of central and state governments have been made online. The information is made online. And this is basically the services which are available online and offline also. So a total of 52 online services are there. And they have been categorized under various heads. For example, pension, Praman Patra, Sevaएं, etc. So if a person needs to know about pension, and he'll get all the pensions available with the Samajik Nyaya department. So all the pension information will be available to him. As I said earlier, if the person wants to apply for it, if the online application process is there, he can apply online. And if the process is not there and he needs to apply offline, he'll be guided where he can apply the offline. Next. Next, please. This is the division of slide. Pension, सेवाएं, राजस्व, देयक, रोजगार, सहायता, श्रम, व्यापार एवं उद्योग. So these, under these various fields, all the services that we provide have been categorized under these heads. So it is easy for the person to identify what benefit he wants. Next. Now, what those earlier schemes can do, that is an side. Some of the success stories. For example, if a person comes and he wants to know about schemes about industry, so it's not only that we provide information, we also provide him some basic case studies which turned into successful stories. Like the first 4, they relate to industry, Udyami Yojana, and the next 2 are related to agriculture. So the person basically gets an idea also how a person can benefit from those schemes. What is the benefit from those schemes? So schemes are enlisted in here. We are expanding this thing. This is currently not available for all the schemes, but we are trying to all the schemes, success stories of all the schemes are incorporated in this tab. Next, please. This is expansion of the earlier slide, sir. Mukhyamantri Yuva Udyog Yojana. Devendraji Thakre, a beneficiary, how he got benefited from this. Stated earlier, some of the services or schemes for which the person can apply online, we provide the link. And then there are services which cannot be applied online. For that, the person needs to apply offline only. So for that, forms are available here. He does not need to go to a department and ask for the form. Those forms are already available here. You can download it, fill in the form, and go to the concerned department. So if offline services also provide the forms online only. Next, please. Now, quality of the information of key departments, quality information of key departments is very important. Many times it happens that we update some information and then we forget it. And then the officers change, some schemes change, some defunct schemes are also there on the portal, or some new schemes come, but then they are not uploaded on the portal. Some changes are made into the schemes. So it is a regular exercise wherein the line departments and NIC has to work in coordination and update, keep it updated. Because many times it happens that we open some website and information is not up, lose interest. So this is basically the same thing. We need to update it regularly. Next, please. Under this tab, sir, the some of the key functionaries which are very important, like Police Thana, Nyayalay, Bank, College, Vidyalaya, Aspatal, Dak, Nagar Palika, Gair Sarkari Sangathan, Bijli School, ityadi. So the departments which are very important and the person needs the contact immediately or urgently, they are available under this tab. Next. So now this is something we try to focus on the economic output or the economic benefit of the various products of the district. Under the one district, one product theme, we have incorporated this slide, and this changes to our website. For example, Khargone is famous for three products. One is Maheshwari Sadi. Maheshwari is a place in Khargone where silk sarees are made. Then there is Kapas, the cotton, and then there is Mirch, the chili. So the information as of now is available here. For example, a person wants to invest or he wants to do something in cotton. So he needs to formulate an FPO. So he may get information that how he'll make an FPO. So that way this slide has been included in this. So all the government schemes that favor or promote these products or that can benefit him have been linked to this. So he can take it to a logical conclusion. In Maheshwari also, if a person wants to get trained, he wants to get trained in weaving. So what government schemes allow him, where he can apply for getting training. So those are linked to this particular product. Next, please. This is the basic that Maheshwari Sadi and all. Next. Then culture plays an important role in this. The local festivals, for example, Nimad Utsav that takes place here in Khargone. Because of COVID, it could not take place this year, but then it's a very big festival here. Then there is a Bhagoria, which is a local tribal festival in here. So all the information is available here. Then there is Gangaur. So integrating culture with information and its effects regarding economy and other benefits that can be drawn out. So include. Next, please. Some folk arts of local level. For example, this Kathi dance, a particular community here performs it. So that way they also get promoted to a wider this public, and anyone can contact them if they want to reach them out. So that way local folk arts are also included on our website. Next, please. This is during COVID-19, we need regularly to approach public regarding the new health bulletin, the per day health bulletin, or the new decisions that were being made by crisis management group, etc. So those were uploaded here. Next, please. Sir, as presence is very important nowadays because we need real-time information to flow and real and authentic information to flow among the public to the citizens. So all both the pages, we have two pages, one Twitter handle and the other is a Facebook page of DM Khargon. So the link is shared here on this website, so the person can connect there also, because nowadays everyone uses the social media, so you can directly connect on social media. Next. These are information regarding election. Next, please. So this is important thing which we are working now. We have worked also and we are working to improvise it. This is basically a feedback or complaint mechanism in here. So a screenshot of some of those complaints or feedback is shared here. Like the first one says कि sir 2 months हो गए कृपया करके. So might have applied for subsidy for some animal husbandry scheme, but he did not get it in 2 months. So now, sir, we are all looking for to convert it into a grievance redressal mechanism, whereby a person can complain on this portal, and we will make sure that it is resolved in 7 days. We will make a regular follow-up of it. Like we have time limit meetings per week. So we will put this as an agenda in those meetings, and these will be incorporated from there. So follow-up solution is also there. Right now, we are not making a follow-up. We are just transferring it to the concerned department. But then the follow-up will be there, so the loop will be complete. Next, please.
Gaurav, can you kindly conclude?
Right, sir. Next. This is basically the language that we are doing, that no mistakes are there. Next. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for presenting the work being done in Khargon. It has been a very learning experience to watch the number of activities being undertaken. Let me now invite Srimati Alka Mishra ji, the Deputy Director General of NIC, the official who has designed the S3 VAS and has ensured its penetration across hundreds of districts of India. So Poonamji, can you kindly introduce Srimati Alka Mishra ji?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good morning, ma'am. Basically, it is good afternoon. Srimati Alka Mishra is Deputy Director General at National Information Center, Government of India. She has over 30 years of experience in the field of information communication technology and has vast experience ranging from software design, development to implementation of ICT projects. She worked in the preparation of e-governance plan for the government of Lao People's Democratic Republic, worked closely with the US government for the development and implementation of open government data platform, and at the same time was later implemented in Rwanda and Ghana. Her leadership in identifying the gaps that plagued Indian government website led to the launch of the S3 VAS framework, which has been satisfactorily adopted by over 85% of Indian districts in more than 90% of India's state UTs in record time of an year, empowering the world's largest democracy to offer citizen-centric, secure, scalable, and accessible multilingual websites. A number of articles have been published both nationally and internationally by her on open data, crowdsources, and portals. So, ma'am, welcome, and we are waiting for your views and your speech. Kindly.
Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. It's really, I'm happy to be here today and talk about the inception, how did we conceptualize S3 VAS. And I'm very happy to see that at least 3 of the district collectors who have presented, they have really exploited all the features of S3 VAS, which my team had toiled and made it work for the last 1 year, I would say. I have Lokesh with me, who is here. And with this, sir, I start the presentation, and with your permission. Is the presentation available? Can you see? Is the presentation available?
Yes, we can see it. Please continue.
Yeah, thank you so much. Basically, when we had thought of S3 VAS, we had thought that the websites should be secure, scalable, and sugamya, and it should be offered as a service, or rather as a product for anyone to use this. And we realized that to develop a website, it needs a lot of technology also, and you need to make it secure, and you need to scale it up when the usage is high. And content is again a very important thing, which the departments alone are best knowledgeable about. But if they are provided the technology, provided the back-end support, provided all the plugins which they could exploit, for them, lives would be much easier, and there would be less RTI queries that the websites are not accessible, or the citizens would not complain that it is not very user friendly, and you would not face the bottleneck of choking. Now, I'm very sure that all the district collectors here today will appreciate that during COVID time, when so much of information had gone on their district websites, it would have led to a lot of choking of bandwidth, and maybe the websites would not have scaled. Has it been the website of 1980 or 1990? So with SWAS, the technology was taken care, and it could automatically get scaled out without any problems. So SWAS gives a secure environment to have the website launched, and multilingual, and it is responsive in nature. Now I'm very sure you'll appreciate that I heard Kamareddy TC say that his website is available in Telugu, is available in English, is available in Urdu, and is also available in English. So making a website multilingual used to be a humongous task, and the developers used to really struggle to have these components there. But now with SWAS, it is just a plugin. The components have all been centrally developed and given to you to use it, plug it in, and you will be multilingual in the language that you choose of. Basically, the complete process has been re-engineered to give you a simple, automated, standardized process. In any website which used to be developed way back in 1970s or 1980s, it had a number of processes involved. There was a design. A lot of time was wasted in designing a website. And once the design would be finalized, the leadership would change, and then the design was no longer liked, or maybe some new ideas would come in. So the process in designing was too much. The process thereafter in developing a website was again huge, and not only developing, if you wanted then to incorporate multilingual, different language, put social media plugins like share a page, or put a Facebook link there, it was again a redevelopment. Deployment was equally tough. Each one of the website needed resources, needed to deploy, needed to test, certify that it is accessible, and then maintain. And then each component itself had number of subcomponents, that it is secure, the patches are available, the bugs are fixed. In case your website is down, you have a disaster recovery and things like that. So it was a big task. It might sound very simple, a website, but it was a process which nearly took a month to complete it. Now with Swas, it is very simple. The design has been all given to you. And it's not one design that you feel that you are actually stale. We've got around 25 to 30 designs canned completely. All of them are completely accessible. You do not have to worry whether you will have an RTI query that your website is not accessible. It is completely responsive, whether you want to see it at a laptop or you want to see it on. Can I request the others to switch off your mic, please? Yeah, so it was completely responsive. You could just choose the theme, and all you had to do is customize the theme. That means we've got around 114 plugs. You have to just choose. You want your social media to be activated, choose. You want the feedback form to be activated, choose the same. You want to change the layout, choose that. So everything was customizable and configurable. And the content migration was very simple. And then after that, we had certification. That means it is GIGW compliant. DRPG knows very well how much we had struggled last year or year before last, seeing that the websites of the departments are all accessible and compliant to GIGW. So these are the themes which are available for anyone to use. Any of the theme they could choose, completely again certified by STQC for accessibility. You can just click any of the theme and start configuring it. Now it is compliant to the guidelines of Indian government, these themes. It is accessible, responsive. Now I will just take you through how I say it is accessible. You can tell them that if like all the accessibility features are built in. You can increase the size, you can increase the contrast, you can skip to the main menu. You have the JAWS there for people who are not able to see. Now it has got all this there. You can see the high contrast, everything with a click of the button, and the complete thing is CMS driven. Now, when we say that it is CMS driven, means the people who are managing the content do not have to worry. All that they have to do is they give a start date for a banner. Suppose they're putting a COVID banner, they put an end date. When the end date is over, the banner automatically gets off from their website. So it is CMS driven, easy to manage the content. Then we have got automatic updates which are there. The content is completely bilingual. At the moment, we've got 18 languages which are available for a website, be it Assamese or Hindi or Urdu or Konkani. So all you have to do is choose from the language menu, the languages that you want. Necessarily, the website is in English. Apart from that, you can choose your options also. And on the fly, the website will become in multilingual. There is a sitemap. We all,
Presentation is not moving. Presentation is not moving.
pardon, sir?
The presentation is not moving. We're
Is
still,
not. Where
we're
am
still-
I, sir?
we were in the first slide itself. The presentation was in the first slide when you had moved far ahead.
Thank you. I'll just look at it. Just 1 minute. Is it moving now or not? Is the presentation moving, sir?
No, it's not sharing as yet. You can't see.
Not sharing. Okay. Where is it? So is it sharing now?
Yes, yes, we can see. It's moving.
I'm really sorry about it, sir. Shall I continue from where I was?
Yes, please continue from there. Please.
Are you sharing it from there? Are you sharing it from there, from centrally?
Yes, I
Yes,
think.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We are sharing it from here.
Okay, then I will stop sharing. You can continue, please. I will tell you where to take me. Just go through certification. No. Before that, yeah, before that, much before that, just go to, no, I'm asking you to go to the initial presentation, not to the end of it. Go to the features slide, please. Yeah, you can leave it here. So now if you go to sitemap, there is a sitemap icon here now. You can just click that. I think if you stop sharing, I will be able to. Okay, no problem. Continue. Please continue. Yeah, start. Yeah, start. See, if you see the detailed sitemap is automatically generated. And once you have your site ready, the sitemap is available for anybody to see what all are there in your district websites. Next slide, please. Uh, these are the social media plugins which are available for SWAS. Everything is built in. You just have to click whether you want Facebook, Twitter, or share or print a particular page, and it automatically gets plugged in. So now you just go to the features section and go back, please. Yeah, these are the languages which are available. And now can we go to the next one? You can keep showing. I can speak accordingly. Yeah, the next one. I've talked about all this. Yeah. Can you stop sharing? I think I will do it. Thank you. Lokesh. Yeah. So now this was the contrast features which is available. And if you go back to it, you see there was a CMS which is built in, so you can maintain your content very well. And after that, if you see the social media, I have already talked about it. And the technology is completely on open source, and it is robust, highly scalable, completely configurable, and you can have them very well, scale out anyway, and security audit is there. Patch updation is easy. DR is there for you. So you don't have to worry that if your site is down, what happens? And it is hosted on the national cloud of NIC. Now, when I talk of certification, so there is a certification which is actually required for accessibility. STQC has been roped in for doing certification of S3 VAS sites, and this is all certified around, at the moment, 59 district websites have been given to them, 39 are already certified. Now, this is complete process is again automated for certification. Why I'm putting a stress on this is that each of the district magistrate will just have to submit their site for certification. Once it is submitted, the team at STQC will be able to download the documents. They will be able to run through the complete site to see whether it is accessible or not, especially the content, because the technology and the features are already accessible. It will generate a report which will be sent in case there is non-compliance, And once the site is certified, this certificate will come on their website that it is a certified accessible website. So this gives a lot of comfort that these sites are at least accessible. Now, what is the sustainable ecosystem that we have built in? As you have seen that we have a help desk. Each of the DIOs have been trained. They know how to upload the content. Then we have a number of workshops that we conduct, and completely tailor-made specialized scheme is there for accessibility, so that you do not have to worry about the back end, you do not have to worry about the content and the security. This is centrally managed. All you have to worry is the content. And there are community of champions who put the word that it is. This is the sustainable model that we have used completely. Community champions, post-migration reviews, and pre-assessment is done. The roadmap for SWAS is basically, we have realized that if this website is made more interactive, if your services are plugged in on these websites, which are more of information, like I saw some of the DCs talk about the services that they have made it available. If it could come from Service Plus, like states like Haryana has already got Service Plus. They have automated a number of citizen-centric applications. So if we could plug in SWAS with Service Plus, then automatically your services will be populated, which would not be informative alone, but it would be dynamic. And then we could put in AI-powered Vani chatbot, which would help people to download the features easily, and the PG RAMs could also be integrated with SWAS. That means any citizen grievances for a particular district could come here, and the dashboards that we have, Darpan, for the DMs, integration of that on SWAS would make it a complete holistic thing. And this is the roadmap. The second roadmap is to have a one India picture, because we could see that we all know that India is a diverse country having a lot of culture, heritage, monuments. Then we have a lot of, art, craft, and it is all there in silos in their respective districts. So if we could come up with one India, that means your content which you are managing at the district gets amalgamated or passed through APIs at a national level, then it would become a huge, huge potential of tourism, of trade for people even outside your district. And this would be all automatically done through components like the SWAS has been done for the districts, to give you one integrated One India portal. This is just a glimpses of what we are trying to now do it over with the One India portal. The thing is that whatever you have contributed, your data at the districts would be properly tagged. So when you go to the map of India and then you search for, say, tourism, whether the tourism is in a Changlang district or whether it is in Kamareddy, you just need to choose whether you want tourism for the purpose of, say, you are looking for seashore, or you're looking for hills, or you're looking for beaches. So once you select that, then the beaches, the tourist spots from across the country, from different districts, would come on one banner. So the festivals, the produce, the handicrafts, tourism will all be rendered on that One India map of India. So it would be even the public utilities. It is very, very confusing if you have to see the telephone addresses across websites. So all the public utilities, say, if I say public utilities and I'm talking of police stations, so from all the districts, from all the state departments, seamlessly, if this data could come in and give you public utilities to choose which place you want from one website. So this is what we plan to do with SWAS over the time. At the moment, it is implemented in 620 districts, in 11 divisional commissioners' website. 18 state departments have come on board, and NIC state units are also on SWAS. So now we want to extend it to all government websites and all government departments. This is all from my side. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alka ji. Comprehensive presentation, and we have benefited from getting a pan-India picture. Now, as I open the house for a question-answer session, I'll request if any of the participants have questions, they may please place it on their chat box. I have a few questions, and let me pose the first round of questions to Dr. Sharath. Can you please tell us how successful has the Kamareddy model been in creating an inclusive digital system? And what are the most departmental details? Further, have you taken any measures for e-literacy? And is there a single sign-on facility that is being used? Dr. Sharath, please. Should I repeat the question?
Good afternoon, sir. I can hear you, sir. This is Hemant Patil, IS from 19 batch. Dr. Sharath had to leave for minister review meeting, unfortunately.
Okay.
If you allow me, I can answer the questions.
Yes, please answer.
Sir, our main focus was on participation of all stakeholders. We had a motivated NIC team which worked in a coordination with all the district officers and departments, and we were able to provide the details about each department, which includes schemes, their projects, initiatives. Main focus was binding synergy between all the wheels of the district administration. Regarding the second part of the question, sir, regarding literacy, we are planning to enroll volunteers who will be able to register with their details, where they will be willing to work, what is their specialty. We want to engage them with the parts of the district which are illiteracy prone. We want to increase the literacy as such. Because of the COVID, it got delayed, but as soon the schools are starting, we are planning to make our move in the next month, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Let me pose a question for DC Changlang. You're serving in one of the most difficult terrains of the country, and have you been able to reduce the interface between the citizen and the government by adopting the S3 VAS platform? And also, in Arunachal Pradesh, could you be in a position to launch any promotional campaigns with regard to using this portal and availing services across the CSCs, given that connectivity is a big challenge? What is the penetration of the CSC network in your district?
With regards to connectivity issues, sir, there are far off areas which have challenges, but for that we have started with VSAT systems. And as of now, we are working to cover as many areas as possible, and we have over 80% coverage for all the administrative areas with regards to connectivity. So using this VSAT network, we are able to provide online access to the citizens. But the major issue apart from that is also literacy, digital literacy rather, that how to use the website for services. So what we are trying is to launch such initiatives which make the person interested in the website as such. For example, our crowdfunding for education of students who want to go to Delhi University, it made the people see the website for the first time when they had never used the website. So the first idea is to give them an exposure to the website, and once they log in, once they access it, then they see the vast amount of options available to them in terms of e-services and other options. So based on that, we are moving in a stepwise manner. And sir, we are also planning to launch other initiatives like with regards to education. Also during COVID, we have hired volunteers from across the country. All these were working free of cost. They provided online education services to our children till class 10th around 100 people from Delhi, Bangalore, and all the metro cities contributed in this initiative, sir.
I have one follow-up question. Of all the departmental services that you're providing, which is the most used one? You're providing caste certificates, e-payments, record of rights, as also grievance redressal. Which is the most used portal in the entire range of services that are being provided?
Sir, in case of Changlang, ILP is the most used one because maximum people who are coming from neighboring parts of Assam, because we have a huge border with Assam. So daily traders and everyone has to come, and they are regular visitors as well. So ILP is one of the major e-services which has been used on our website.
And have you been undertaking any promotional campaigns to popularize the access to the website?
Sir, we mainly try to integrate departments. So we have had coordination meetings with them, because to make it a habit that they share all their data, their public notices, their tenders regularly with the NIC is a task in itself. So that has been challenged. And sir, we have also started Sarkar Aapke Dwar, in which far off areas which are not having road connectivity or which are not having normal telecom connectivity, we go at the doorstep of the citizens. So through those mechanisms also we are popularizing it, sir.
Thank you. May I now turn to DC Khargon, please? And can you please tell us, Gauravji, how much has the interface between government and citizen reduced by using this software? Have the number of manual applications come down by adopting this digital interface?
Sir, all those services were available online earlier also. Right, we are just providing link. So we have not included any new services like from line department from through different portals. They were always already provided online. Now also they are being provided online. We just shared the link that from here you can apply online. And for the offline, we are just sharing the form that you need to fill up this form and go to this department and submit it there and get a follow-up. So those services were already there. We just proactively disseminated those information in the public domain.
I will now turn to Alka-ji. Can you please tell me how much has DigiLocker helped conceptualizing or scaling up of S3 VAS?
Sir, actually, DigiLocker has not been used for S3 VAS at all, because where you saw the roadmap for S3 VAS, we are saying that all online applications or all online services which are being given by the government entities should start coming through your website. In that, the DigiLocker integration, the integration with Service Plus, payment gateway would help. Right now, it is informational website with, as he said, links. But since the technology is taken care, you don't have to worry about websites look and feel or developing a website. You just have to worry about your content. But once the services integration is done, then only DigiLocker will be a very integral part of SWAS. In this phase, it is statistical. It is static website, informational website. So DigiLocker is just not into the picture.
Also, please tell me, last year when we were looking at it, it was still in its conceptual stages. And now, as you have shown, 630 districts have started implementation. How did you manage scaling up so fast? What was the reason behind this success? Or can you explain this rapid scaling up? What did you do?
Sir, like I had shown an ecosystem of SWAS. Unfortunately, my slides were not moving. I think there is a Wi-Fi issue. So if you saw that ecosystem of SWAS, it said that basically we delinked the content with from the technology. We said that a website which has to give you what the government is doing and represent the schemes which is available, talk to the citizens, should not be bogged down with the technology. So the technology was decoupled, which was managed centrally here by my team, by Lokesh, by DP Mishra, and the data center people. We have one more, Varun. So the technology you don't worry about. The technology, the fixes, the upgrades, the scalability, the features is all there. You take care of the governance part. governance is where is your forte and you need to give this to the citizen. You take care of the content part. So each of the website was de-linked. SWAS is completely technology driven product. Like if you see e-office, the product is there, e-office. Only the training had to be given. So we had a hand-holding session. We made our DIOs one of the nodal officer to work with the DC. Then each updation in the website, we broke that also in module. Like if there is a telephone directory, you can give access of updating telephone directory to the department which gives you that information. And if there is a tourism page, then the another section can put the content of tourism. So that means the complete website was broken into modules and you could configure any of the module or all of the module together. So with 4 people working simultaneously on the website updation, it could be done easily. Second thing was it is completely CMS driven. So you don't have to automatically do things like, as I said, if you put a banner on Vigilance Week, the banner has to go out on 4th, go off on 4th. So you don't have to remember to remove the banner. So all you have to do is you say the banner is live for 2 days and you can give the date when the banner has to go off. So on that day, the banner will automatically go off from the website. So these are the technology that we used, and we had a lot of regional workshops. We had champions. We made, the state which was doing well in rolling out the districts. We used our DIOs and the DC for advocacy to the other neighboring state. So as a result, it was not the small team which was working here centrally. It was nearly 30-40 people who were working to roll it out in nearly a year, sir. You will be happy to know that within a year, around 600 districts had all come online. Another thing is you don't have to worry the accessibility, making it responsive, changing the design. All those were pre-canned and given. You just choose it and it is completely accessible. So technology was taken care and people helped each other to migrate the content.
Thank you very much. I think we have already spilled over by 31 minutes over our scheduled time. And I'll like to invite Professor Poonam Singh ji to deliver the vote of thanks, please.
Thank you so much, sir. It was a very great session, and I think that the way the young officers they have already given the implementation process and detail in their presentation. So first of all, I would like to congratulate and give the sincere thanks to all the lead speakers who have delivered their speech, and they have shown the enthusiasm which has been taken during this implementation and the framework, especially to Alka Madam and the young officers who have presented and working in a very different situation in their districts and have done very excellent and tremendous work done by them, especially for implementation of SWAS, channelizing energy, focused on simplicity, easy and logical categorization, transparency in service delivery, single window source of implementations. So we can say that, sir, these are the tremendous work, and these are the best examples in good governance implementation in India. So for your, with your kind permission, sir, I would like to make a request to the officers. So can you send me, in 500 words, the detail 8 and 10 page document and best practices, because these are the best practices, and we would like to share in our platform that these work has been done by the young officers who are placed in different the terrain in India. So I would like to request to them, and I am also very, very thankful to the eminent participants from the all the scholars, all the district collectors who have joined today, and the officer from DRPG, my colleagues from NCGG, and the public policy department's officers, and ladies and gentlemen. So thank you so much for this auspicious session, and have a great day. Thank you. And finally, we would like to thank our chairperson, because these issues has been conceptualized by our Director General, Sri V. Srinivas sir, and he is regularly monitoring all the things for this session. So thank you so much, sir, for your kind guidance. Thank you so much, sir, and have a nice day to all.
Thank you very much. Thank you once again. Thank you.
Thank you. It was really a wonderful session.
Thank you. Thank you.
Lokesh, thank